Hello, welcome back to Foos Entertainment for my review of Skyfall from 2012, which is part of the Daniel Craig 4K James Bond collection. Talking about the plot of the film, the Rose opinion of the film, my opinion of the film. Talk about the audio and video, quality of the film, and give the film a ranking. When James Bond's latest assignment goes terribly wrong, it leads to a catastrophic turn of events. Undercover agents around the world are exposed, and MI6 is attacked, forcing M to relocate the agency. When MI6 now compromised inside and out, M turns to the one man she can trust, Bond. Aided only by a field agent, Bond takes to the shadows and follows the trail of Silva, a man from M's past who wants to settle an old score. Alright, Skyfall. This is the highest grossing James Bond film of all of them. This is the only James Bond film that actually has ended up in the billion-dollar market. It made like 1.7 something like that billion dollars in cinemas in 2012. In the world, actually, a lot of people in the world say that Skyfall is Daniel Craig's very best James Bond movie. I, for one, do not agree. Now, there's a lot of good things to go for this film. Now we're going to my opinion. The Centurial point of view, I love the outfits he has in this movie. All the Tom Ford suits he has in this film. The casual clothes he wears in the film. That awesome Tom Ford tuxedo, the midnight blue. I love the clothes in this film. Sunglasses are awesome. I think the overall look of Bond is pretty damn good in this movie, I might add. And the action is awesome. I also like the fact that this kind of continues the trend that kind of started with Casino Royale, with James Bond actually having 2 watches in the film instead of 1. Quantum of Solace kind of went back to having 1. And then that's kind of a cool thing I like about Craig is, usually he has 2 watches in the movie. In the Casino Royale, he was wearing the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean 600 meter on a rubber bracelet, much like I have on my Watch Dives Perpetual Date Submariner, which is of course a homage piece to the modern Perpetual Date Rolex Submariner that's made very popular. And of course he wears the traditional Omega Seamaster 300 Professional. He only wears 1 watch, and that's the smaller version of the Planet Ocean in Quantum of Solace. But he actually wears a special titanium version of the Planet Ocean. And then, the most of the film, he wears an Omega Seamaster Aquaterra 38mm, which is very, very different. It's this dress watch. But things like that, yeah, are awesome. I mean, there's a lot of awesome things about Skyfall, but let's go ahead and talk about what's not. I would say that the plot of the film is not the best James Bond plot. I mean, it's just not. People have a bad problem with the plot of Quantum of Solace and execution of it. I say the execution of the plot of Skyfall is good. But I'll tell you what I don't like about it. I think that the plot is not really that interesting. And that's kind of the point of Skyfall. I definitely love the movie, and I love everything about the movie. It's definitely one of my favorite James Bond films out of the modern era. But that plot is not that interesting. You see, they had two MI6 agents battle off against each other in GoldenEye, and that's a much better movie, plot-wise, to Skyfall. Now, what Skyfall has going for it, which is why I still hold it way up here, is the action. The action in this movie is incredible. The cinematography, I mean, you quite literally have one of the greatest cinematography artists in the world that pretty much was a choreographer on this film. I forget his freaking name, but he's way out there, and yeah, he was responsible for the overall look of this movie, and it's amazing looking. And style of the film, the flow of the film is great. It's just the plot. That's what I have a little bit of an issue with. But that does not scares me from loving this movie, because I do absolutely love Skyfall. Now let's talk about the audio and video. Again, this movie is beautiful to look at, and it also utilizes the Dolby Vision plus HDR10 the most out of all the first four Craig films. When it does it the best is No Time to Die, but we'll get there. And there's reasons why, obvious reasons. It's because it was made to look this way. Originally, these first four Craig films were not. They've been redone to look like the way they look now. But the colors of this movie are amazing. They just pop out so much in this 4K title that it's really, really, really beautiful to look at. You can't take your eyes off of it. The audio. The 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio presentation on this movie has always been flawless. It's never needed to be upgraded. The sound's just intensified. This particular movie was made for home audio capabilities. I mean, quite literally. I've watched this on so many systems in the past and previous incarnations on Blu-ray, and the 5.1 presentation is just insane. Stuff travels all over the place with this movie, and it's intense. It's very, very intense. Sometimes I have to turn it down if you don't want to disturb anybody, because some of the stuff is very, very intense, and a lot of stuff's going on. Now is for a ranking of the film. Believe it or not, despite the silly plot of this film, everything is so perfectly executed in this movie. So yes, this might irritate some of you, but I am giving I am giving Skyfall, giving 2012 Skyfall 4 stars. It is a perfect movie to me. And I had the best James Bond plot, but it is a perfect movie. And yeah, it's just one I don't watch nearly as often, but it is a perfect film, so I give it a perfect score of 4 stars. And that's all I gotta say about Skyfall, and I'll see you guys next time.